Scott, it's Happy Friday day, dude, and I'm in a great mood today. I'm having a ton of fun already. We're just getting started. This Spider-Man 2 update allows access to dev menu. Whoops. Possibly teases DLC. Anthony Fortino, Insider Gaming, had this to say. In a new Twitter post, Insomniac Games addressed a hiccup in the latest Spider-Man 2 update that allows players to access the development menu. Insomniac Games explains that there is a, quote, a hot fix on the way, end quote. But using this menu could potentially, quote, corrupt your saves and trophy progress, end quote. Is that more of a scare tactic than anything else, Scott, you think?
Yeah, that doesn't really air true to me. That kind of seems like, hey, your Christmas gifts are in the closet, don't look. But you know they're in there.
yeah, that's right. Still, fans exploring the update quickly took to Reddit after discovering references to a potential new character in Spider-Man 2 Unexpected Menu. These spoilers align with discoveries from the Insomniac leak, suggesting that new Beetle DLC might be on the way. They also indicate that the Beetle would be Janice Lincoln, the more recent iteration of Beetle. Insomniac assured fans that there is no risk associated with playing the game as intended, end quote. Scott, so if there's no risk of playing that, then I can't imagine there's a risk jumping into that menu. Insomniac Games first announced today's update last month. It introduced the highly requested New Game Plus, all new suits, and accessibility features like audio descriptions. Despite the mix-up with the development menu, Insomniac Games has not officially confirmed anything about the future DLC. The Beetle content in question may also remain unused. However, if this does turn out to be true, that could possibly lend credibility to some of the other leaks that surfaced last year. In December of 2023, a ransomware group leaked over 1.3 million files. These leaks mention other potential characters coming to the game. Scott, this sounds like it's just the beginning for keeping Spider-Man 2 alive. When we take a look at what's happening this year in the world of PlayStation, dude, it's all second-party, first-party exclusive content coming. But when you branch out to first-party, what are they doing? Maybe what their light is at the end of the tunnel is just DLC.
Yeah, just DLC, but Beetle is an interesting pick for me. I think we were talking a little bit a while ago about Venom and how there's unused voice acting lines, and that seemed like it would be a good, easy addition to the game after some time, but Beetle is an interesting pick. I like the idea, though, it might not come out because these leaks. They might decide to use it or not use it and pivot away, but that's silly, in my opinion. We already know. Why not just bring it out?
Absolutely. Their first Marvel Spider-Man game had a ton of content come out. DLC, it actually came in like a roadmap, and then you were expected to, boom, every couple months, I think we got new DLC patches with new characters, the new villains to go up against. So I'm very curious where they're going to take Beetle, and who else do they have in line too, right? Because Insomniac is great for taking the out of the ordinary, you know, like the well-known villains, and then introducing them, right? So I'm very curious to see where they can take this. Spider-Man New Game Plus does nothing for me. I saw the new suits. Nope.
No, it wasn't exciting for you either, if I recall.
Not at all. But if you
looked like a bit of a B-Boys kind of thing.
Man, it was like, whoa, what is this? It was like a trip back to the 90s or something, the 80s. It was woo! Yeah, it was something else. But, you know, I think some people that are still swinging around the streets are going to have a great time jumping back in, looking for that New Game Plus. We talked about it. Is New Game Plus just too late? I'm like months later, or should you have had it right away? What other DLC can they come up with, though, right? Who else can we get into that we haven't already seen that aren't the staples when it comes to Marvel villains? So I'm curious to see how far do they dig? Yeah,
Beetle is certainly at the end of the list of characters I would recognize even, but I'm wondering if this is this a playable character, or is this somebody you go up against? I'm not sure how Beetle sits in the lore, if he's a good guy, bad guy versus whatever, but just the idea that, is this another playable character that could really shake things up in a game that's now a few years old? And I'm struggling to remember, I think it was back on, was it Spider-Man 3 on 360 that had other playable characters as well? That was a trip.
I'm very curious. So Janice, she is a super villainess appearing in the American comic books from way back when. So curious to see where they're going to take this next, right? Who else do we get? If this is the beginning, Is this how they keep Spider-Man alive until we get into Wolverine next year, right? So maybe a couple drops this year are coming out of PlayStation. Everything's hush-hush right now, especially with that massive leak of 1.3 million files. I wonder what that did internally then to Insomniac to go, hey, maybe we switch things up. They already know this is coming. Or do they go, you know what? It's out of the bag. Let's just go with it. And that's the other side. Let's just jump in anyways. Dude, you'd have to imagine after getting that leak, that puts morale down in the studio. But at the same time, they're already in production. So do they really want to scrap what they've got going? I don't know. Time will tell. But the biggest question is, what other characters we want to go up against? What other super villains can we see in the future when it comes to Marvel Spider-Man? There's a long list. And Insomniac, man, they're only killing it, aren't they?
Oh, always.